Hi everybody, it's me, the Guru. Look, I was just watching something on the news which has really upset me, and I suppose there's a lot of people there, if you hear this topic and you watch the news, or even if you don't, just in general life, being an Aussie, right, for 200 years or whatever it was the case, is that people have been going to the beaches, right, and they've been well educated from what the word go, as you can see with the historical things that they've done when they first come to bathe in places such as Bondi, Coogee, Maroubra, Caesarea, we can go on. And they always maintain that through lifeguards. And lifeguards, they're not public servants. They're not, hired by the government. They're hired by their goodwill and the community to keep them safe. And in those days, a lot was respected. When a lifeguard said something, it meant something, and people heed that warning. Nowadays, they don't. I just seen on the news there was 2 lifesavers that died through a tragedy, trying to save somebody through, I suppose, the person that they were trying to save wasn't supposed to be where they were, once again, doing the wrong thing and putting not only their life, but other people's lives, which were lost today, 2 lifesavers. And I find that so sad because, see, a lot of people go swimming and they've got lifesavers, but they think it's their God-given right to have these guys that are volunteers, that sacrifice themselves, train every day tediously. You see it in Bondi Rescue and other shows like that, how far they put their self out on the line for stupidity. Of course there are accidents and people do end up getting caught in rips and that because they're uninformed. They don't know how to identify a rip. They don't know, certain things. But there's guidelines, and these lifesavers all over Australia, they're only asking one thing: obey that. It's like a law. We know the law, we obey it. Or, majority of people out there obey the law on the roads and other laws. Well, this is not an imprint. The lifesaver said, this is a total law. But it was common respect back when it was formed that people would follow that. Like swimming within the flags, checking with the lifesavers, talking to them. But a lot of people don't do that. They think it's their God-given right for these people, these athletes, these saviours of the water to go out and save them. And they're in danger themselves. You see it every day, and you see it on Bondi Rescue. They're amazing. And what another thing tips me off is that a lot of people are foreigners. Now, I'm not racist. I'm not saying anything about race. But what I'm saying is a lot of people come out to Australia and want to enjoy our lovely beaches, and they think, oh, well, the lifesavers are there, they'll save me. Well, you're not invincible. They come out, they're uninformed, they don't know anything about Australian waters, but they come out and, of course, dive in and have their little fun until something happens. So I think people like that, there should be a program where the lifesavers are implementing, before you go into the water, that you are made to go through a program. The basics. And if you break those basic rules, the water rules that were there, which were formed like when the lifesavers first formed it, then you're either ignorant, ignorant, stupid, or you just don't care, you're dissing it. And that to me is stupid. So you should be penalised. The government should also say to people coming into Australia, before you enter Australia, we want to make sure you're going to go home back to wherever you were, and say that when you visited Australia, it was 100%. Oz was what I expected it to be, and the beaches and the waters, and I had no trouble at all. But before that can happen, I think they should be made to go through a compulsory program through the Lifesavers Association, right, that they actually do before they enter the water. And if they enter the water, knowing these basic rules that were formed, as I said, when the Lifesavers first formed, the Lifesavers Association, right, that then there should be a penalised. It should be like a fine. They should be fined. Because then with that fine, they'd go back thinking, I shouldn't have done that. Next time if I do that, I'm going to get a fine. I'm going to get a rack on the knuckles. So they won't. And it keeps everybody safe. The common respect, it keeps the lifesavers safe, keeps those people sort of safe, it keeps everybody safe, and it keeps the wheel of the Association for Lifesavers going. Because as I said, they don't get paid. They're there persevering every single time. Their time monitoring, safeguarding everybody that walks on those beaches, no matter where they are, even the famous beaches, as I said. But there should be some form of respect for the lifesavers. There ain't. These people are going out, they're getting killed, they're drowning. And now today, 2 lifesavers, which is really sad. So I think there should be something put in place so this doesn't happen. And I think programs that are run through, as I said, the Surf Life Saving Association would be a good thing. And people that come out to Australia that don't know anything about the basic rules of the law of water safety should be made to go through that. So they can say that when you go to Australia, that they're going to keep you safe and inform you. And that's a good thing. Because if they do that before they go into the water, then they know, don't they? You know, I think that's a good idea. So anyway, that's my opinion. I was really saddened by that. It's really sad because those people won't go home. And I think we all should say a prayer, you know, because without the lifesavers and that, we're not a genie underwater, but they are kind of our genie. They're there to save us when we least expect it, you know. Obey the water rules. They're basic. They're not hard. Bye from the Guru.